Ladies and gentlemen, if I get your attention, I'm going to come this way so I can see you, not have my back to you. We are going to ask Terry Burns to come up, and Greta is going to join me up here for the executive. We wanted to, before she gets away from us, this short timer who's been here, just been kind of around doing her thing with Job and Family Services, has served this county exceptionally well, and we're just really, really proud of you. And all of council, certainly the executive, want to let you know how much you are appreciated. When you have somebody on staff that I know other counties seek direction from, that's a pretty cool thing. And we've got that across the county. We know that as council members, that this county is looked at across the state as a county that goes after solutions and does well, from the executive right on down. And it's a sense of pride for us whenever we have a chance to talk to folks from other communities, knowing how much they look to us as an example of how things could and should be done. So you are very much a part of that, Terry. But I won't go down the whole proclamation because look how big it is. She's been a little busy, but I do want to point out a couple things that Greta brought to my attention, and we want to congratulate Terry first and foremost on being named the Ohio Job and Family Service Director Association's 2025 Outstanding Director of the Year. So, and you can applaud on that because that's cool. Her financial background has played a large role in her success and emergence as a statewide JFS leader. We've been lucky to have her on our team since 2014, starting with the finance department and later joining JFS. As director of JFS, she has a positive impact on the department, in the community, and the state, as I mentioned. Additionally, she is involved in the community and committed to building future leaders. She's more than deserving of this accolade. Her skill, knowledge, and character make her truly an outstanding director. And County Council and the Executive's Office are proud to present this commendation to Terry Burns. So Terry, thank you for everything. And I see them there. Thank you so much. You get rid of these 4 eyes. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Summit County is truly the most collaborative county in the state. I've put us up against all the other counties, hands down. The support I get from the county executive and her team is amazing, and from all of you. Just last week, we had a phone call about SNAP fraud and skimming that you guys were all over. A constituent reached out who had his SNAP benefits skimmed. So I just thank everyone for supporting us and the residents we serve in Summit County. I just want to take a minute to talk a little bit more about SNAP, because right now our bigger issue than the skimming is the loss of 25% of our federal admin dollars. That's a $50 million loss across the state, $2.1 million to Summit County, which is equivalent to $3.3 million in expenses. And on top of that, they're just adding more and more responsibility to us, including SNAP work requirements, doing determinations every 6 months instead of annually. We've got Medicaid work requirements coming next year. There's also the SNAP cost sharing that's out there, where they're talking about the state error rate for SNAP, and that could lead to $160 million to $320 million in SNAP benefit cost sharing for the state. And because of that, now we have another requirement to do quality assurance reviews that we weren't required to do. So they just keep adding these unfunded mandates on us, and my employees are working so hard. Their call volume is up. We have less staff, so they can't answer as many calls. The calls are taking longer. The volume in the lobby is up, and we're just really drowning. We're carrying over hundreds of calls from the previous day to the next day. So we really need everyone in this room to advocate for more funding for JFS. So on that note, thank you very much.
Thank you, Terry, for everything you do. At this time, 4:36, I will call the Personnel Committee to order. We have one item on the agenda today. It is 2026-028, a resolution approving the salary adjustments for certain classified non-bargaining employees based upon job performance, increased responsibility in their job duties, and pay equity for the sheriff and declaring an emergency.
Good afternoon. My name is Kimberly Martin, Director of Administration for the Sheriff's Office. The sheriff would like to give salary adjustments to 3 of her non-bargaining employees that have had job increased responsibilities and pay equity. The 3 that we have is our grant analyst, our support services admin, and our fleet communication, which takes care of the cars, the radios for the vehicles for Summit County Sheriff's Office. Any questions?
Do we have any questions from members of the committee? Any questions from members of council? Okay, with that, can I have a motion? I have a motion from Councilwoman Darrow. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much, Kimberly. With that, we will close the Personnel Committee at 4:37.
I'll open Public Works at 4:37. First up is Resolution 2026-029, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a renewal, second of 3, of a professional service contract with Arcadis US, Inc. for an engineering services task order for a 1-year term from 1/1/26 to 12/31/26 in an amount not to exceed $175,000 for the engineer and declaring an emergency. Heidi.
Thank you. Heidi Swindell, Summit County Engineers Office. This is just an annual task order contract with Arcadis. They help us quite a bit. They do bridge reviews, but most importantly, they take on about 40 of our bridges to inspect, sometimes load rate, and do all the paperwork that's associated with that. And then there's also other general engineering services that they help us out with. We're happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from members of the committee? Council? Hearing none. Do we have a motion on 2026-029? Christine moved on 29. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Next up is 2026-030, a resolution authorizing the executive to enter into agreements for the acquisition of standard highway easements over portions of parcel number 1908969 and parcel number 1910298, located in Coventry Township in Council District 8, in a total amount not to exceed $16,900 as part of the Portage Lakes Drive Culvert Replacement Project for the engineer and declaring an emergency. Heidi.
Thank you. This is a culvert replacement on Portage Lakes near State Mill. It's a pretty complicated process to determine the value of these parcels, but we finally got there. The total is $16,900. We have reached agreements with both property owners. They both signed off on the offers, so I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from members of the committee? Members of council? Hearing none, may I have an motion? Read it. Ms. Darrow moved on the resolution. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heidi. Next up, we have 2026-031, a resolution approving the general plan for Project Q194, Chittenden Road and Boston Commons Sanitary Sewer Extension, determining that the project is necessary for the preservation and promotion of the public health and welfare, determining that special assessment shall be levied and collected to pay the cost for the project, and directing the executive through her Department of Sanitary Sewer Services to prepare or cause to be prepared detailed plans, specifications, and an estimate of cost for the project, together with a tentative assessment of the cost based on the estimate located in the Village of Boston Heights in Council District 3 for the Executive's Department of Sanitary Sewer Services and declaring an emergency. Mr. Vinay.
Thank you, Chair. Michael Vinay, Executives Department of Sanitary Sewer Services. This is part of a project that a developer is performing up in Boston Heights. It's an $11.5 million expansion to a company called Fresh Local Produce. As part of this expansion, the company is required to tie into sanitary sewer. There is a sanitary sewer available, however, it's a number of feet away. In order to make the project affordable and to retain the business, Summit County Sanitary Sewer has designed this extension, plans to contract the extension for construction. Obviously, once that is all done, the total cost of design and construction will be assessed against the property tax duplicate over 20 years. This will align with the debt service tied to the loan for the project. So in the end, we will have the $11.5 million expansion, over $1 million in assets to the Department of Sanitary Sewer Services, and an expansion in payroll of about $400,000. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from members of the committee? Members of council?
So is this the part of Chittenden Road that's,
Over by Hudson?
Yes, it's between 303 and East Boston Mills Road.
Okay. Great.
Any other questions? Rita?
so on this, like, which is like the right here on this map, it doesn't have the roads on it. It would have to tell me where it was. It just didn't have the name on there, and I'm like, what is the map?
Any other,
For that question.
any other questions? Mr. Schmidt moved on 031. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vinay. Okay, I'm showing on my sheet, we have 2026-032. Okay, it says Public Works on mine, so that's planning, correct? Okay. All right, sorry about that, Liz. Okay, with that, I will close Public Works Committee at 4:42.
Planning and Economic Development will open at 4:42. Our first piece this evening is 2026-032, a resolution approving and accepting a re-subdivision titled Hartridge Subdivision Phase 1R, located in Sagamore Hills Township in Council District 1, for the Executive's Planning Commission and the engineer, and declaring an emergency. Holly Miller.
Holly Miller, Department of Community and Economic Development. I am not Gabe Durant, so he's sick today. I'm going to tell you what he told me to tell you, and hopefully Heidi can fill in if there's any questions. So the developer proposed converting Block B and C of the initial subdivision phase into buildable lots. The proposal was reviewed by the Summit County Plan Commission with recommendations from the Summit County Engineer, Summit County Soil and Water, Township of Sagamore Hills, and the Army Corps of Engineers. All previous wetland and riparian issues have been satisfied, and it's the recommendation of the Planning Commission to continue with the conversion and make these two blocks buildable lots in this subdivision.
Any questions for Holly? Can I have a motion? I have a motion from Mr. Wilhite on 2026-32. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Holly.
Thank
Good
you.
job filling in.
Thank you.
2026-033, a resolution revising the assessments for the parcels of Hartridge Subdivision Phase 1, located in Sagamore Hills Township in Council District 1, for drainage maintenance for the engineer, and declaring an emergency. Heidi.
Thank you, Heidi Swindell, Summit County Engineers Office. What Holly just said, they have drainage maintenance assessments tied to all of the lots and assessed subdivisions. So this takes lot 42 and splits it into 2 lots. And so we had to just update the assessment worksheet to show that those assessments are now 2 different ones. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
There's no change to the other assessments. They stay the same.
Questions from anyone? Have a motion? I have a motion from Councilwoman Hyam on 2026-33. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank
you,
you.
Heidi. 2026-034, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a construction contract with the Control Concepts of Ohio LLC at GSA Co-op pricing for the juvenile court HVAC controls upgrade project for the juvenile court building located in the city of Akron in Council District 6 in an amount not to exceed $251,660.86 for the Executive's Department of Administrative Services physical plants and declaring an emergency.
Good evening. Tim Tober, Deputy Director, Executive's Office of Administrative Services. This project is part of a larger project of replacing all of the HVAC equipment, and it's accelerated due to the failure of the current controls. So we are replacing the controls that will be retrofitted into the new equipment when that will be replaced in the future. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
I'm sorry. What is the timeline on this being completed?
We're putting in the controls themselves.
Yes,
Once they're approved, immediately.
immediately. Okay, because that would potentially impact the facility as the weather breaks, correct?
Correct. Right now, they're operating manually. So this will centralize everything back to our department in the Pry building that we can control, just like the other buildings that we have.
Great, thank you very much.
Any other questions? Ms. McKinney, would you like to move on this? I have a motion from Ms. McKinney on 2026-034. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Planning and Economic Development will close at 4:46.
Good evening. Public Safety Committee opens at 4:47. We have 4 items of business this evening, beginning with 2026-035, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a mutual aid agreement with the City of Norton and other governmental entities within the County of Summit for the provision of services by the Sheriff's Major Crime Scene Investigative Unit for the Sheriff and declaring an emergency.
Good evening, Bill Holland from the Sheriff's Office. This would be to add 2 Norton officers to our already existing crime scene unit, which is comprised of, at this point, 17 people. Currently, this would add 2 more. It's comprised of deputies from our agency, as well as we currently have a few people on there from the Twinsburg Police Department. They will have the same training through the Ohio Peace Officers Training Academy, as well as the in-service unit training we have with the crime scene unit every year. The crime scene unit, I think in 2025, had 67 call-outs throughout the year.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? Questions from council? May I have a motion? So moved. Councilwoman Darrow moved on 2026-035. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? The motion carries. 2026-036, a resolution authorizing the executive on behalf of the sheriff to execute Special Weapons and Tactics SWAT Team Mutual Aid Agreement with the Summa Health Police Department and the City of Akron as authorized by Section 550241 of the Ohio Revised Code for the executive and sheriff and declare an emergency.
Good evening, Bill Holland from the Sheriff's Office again. Similar situation here for our SWAT team. The SWAT team currently has 26 members on it, predominantly people from our agency, but we also currently have Talmadge, Mogador, University of Akron, and the Summit County Metro Parks on the SWAT team. This would be to add the Summa Police Department. We also have a couple more departments that would be interested in coming on as well. The SWAT team, I believe last year they had 66 call-outs throughout the year. So this is definitely beneficial to all train together and have a regional SWAT team.
Does the committee have any questions for Chief Holland? Ms. McKinney? Council? Yep.
So what kind of training does someone that would be a part of the SWAT team have, as well as the Major Crime Scene Investigation Unit?
Well, as far as the crime scene unit goes, there's different evidence technician courses they have to take through the state in order to be certified to be on a crime scene unit. Once they receive those classes from OPATA, we have trainings, photography, forensic training that goes on within the unit itself. For the SWAT team, there is a SWAT basic course that is put on through the National SWAT organization that happens regionally. Well, there's a tryout, there's tryouts, and there's an interview process. Once that person is accepted, they go to that SWAT basic class, and then we have bi-monthly trainings for the SWAT team that involve building room entries, firearms training, that type of thing.
Thank you.
Other questions for Chief Holland? May I have a motion on 2026-036? I'm sorry, yes, 036. Mr. Ford moved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 2026-037, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with WEX Bank at Sourcewell pricing for fleet fuel card services and miscellaneous small vehicle expenses in an amount not to exceed $350,000 for the sheriff and declaring an emergency.
Good evening again, Kim Martin for the Sheriff's Office. This is the WEX card, it's the bank card that's for the gas for all the vehicles. Any gas station that they can go to, it's Sourcewell pricing for the fleet. It can be miscellaneous purchases also, but we kind of keep that more in-house. So it's mainly all gas. Any questions?
Questions from the committee? Questions from council? May I have a motion on 2026-037? Councilwoman Darrow moved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. 2026-038, a resolution authorizing the executive to sign intergovernmental agreements with the cities of Akron, Cuyahoga Falls, New Franklin, Stowe, Talmadge, and Twinsburg, as well as the village of Norton and Copley Township, for direct indictment services to be provided by the prosecutor for a 2-year term from 1/1/26 through 12/31/26, with 4 one-year renewals at the amount set forth below for the prosecutor, and declaring an emergency. Prosecutor Kolkovich, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? I'll take that. So I would say the biggest departure between this contract and contracts you've seen in years past is this is moving to a per-case billing model, which is why there is a not-to-exceed amount built into the contract. We worked with Brian Nelson in the law department to try and come up with a contract that helps cities get a bill that reflects how much work that they've done through direct indictment. I think what we noticed that a flat rate billing cycle would get stale after a few years, and it doesn't account for large fluctuations in cases submitted to our system. A good example of that is Barberton's caseload has gone down significantly since it entered into the system, and Stowe's has gone up significantly. I think this contract provides the flexibility to grow with the agencies who are submitting cases.
Committee have questions? Council, questions for Prosecutor Kolkovich? We have Councilman Schmidt moved on 2026-038. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
And that brings a close to the public safety at 4:54.
Rules Committee will come to order. We have one resolution to consider this evening, 2026-039, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of change order number 1 to a professional service contract with Isaac, Wiles, Burkhalter, and Teeter LLC in an amount not to exceed $40,000 for a total amount not to exceed $90,000 for a cumulative increase of 80% toward the cost of continued legal representation and services on behalf of the county in the matter of City of Barberton versus Summit County, Ohio et al. For the executive and sheriff, and declaring an emergency.
Good evening, Council. Brian Harnack, Law Director for the Executive. This is for, like it says, continuing legal representation by Isaac Wiles with our matter with Barberton. This case has been with us for several years. It has gone up and down from appeals back to the trial court. We prevailed the trial court a second time, and now it is back up with the 9th District Court of Appeals. We expect, further expenses on briefing and arguing that case before the 9th District and even possibly before the Supreme Court, so we're asking for a change order to continue that. representation. They've done a very good job for us.
Questions from members of the committee, members of council, the public? Who would like to move on that? Who did? Liz moved. Liz Walters moved on 2026-039. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Any other business come before the Rules Committee? Then we're adjourned.
Standing in for Mr. Donofrio, I'll call the Finance Committee to order at 4:54. First item, 2026-040. Excuse me. A resolution providing for the issuance and sale of an amount not to exceed $12.5 million of notes of the Akron Summit County Public Library District in anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose of constructing, adding to, renovating, remodeling, refurnishing, equipping, and otherwise improving library buildings and facilities, and acquiring, clearing, and improving the sites thereof for council and declaring an emergency. Mr. Nelson. Oh, nope.
Yeah,
My note said Mr. Nelson.
Yeah, I'll kick off and then I'll turn it over to Michelle to provide the substantive.
Sorry, Michelle.
The substantive detail that you care about. As you recall, last year the library came to us to request placing a ballot initiative to essentially authorize a 1 mil tax levy, which would back $160 million of bonds issued by the library for capital improvements of the library. Under state law, libraries kind of sit in a unique position where they are not actually a taxing authority, but they have a taxing authority who essentially oversees them when it comes to the levying of taxes. In this case, the Akron Summit County Public Library is Summit County is the taxing authority for that district. It was put on the ballot, it passed, and now before us is a request to issue $12 million in bond anticipation notes, which also requires the approval of the county to move forward with. And with that, I'll turn it over to Michelle.
Can you, okay. Michelle Allman, Executive Director for Akron Summit County Public Library System, and would like to thank the county for your support as our taxing authority, but also as a strong partner for the library system. We're entering in our 4th year of partnership with JFS of hosting case managers in 10 of our locations, so I would like to thank Terry for the partnership with that. But here today for the first issuance of notes in a total of $12.5 million, and this is for system-wide capital repairs and improvements at all 19 of our locations. We have launched a landing page. If you go to our website, you'll see Building Our Future. You can click on that, and it kind of explains where we are at this point, but we're ready to kick off our work with roofs being replaced at 3 of our branches. So the first location that will be closed is our Talmadge branch. They'll be open until March 14th, and then starting renovations there. But so this is to start funding those repairs and renovations at all of our locations, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Michelle, first of all, welcome in your new role. Nice to have you here with us. One question for you. Excuse me. The $12.5 million, what kind of an overall timeline is that? Is that a 2-year program, 4-year program? How does the timeline work? Yeah, push the button. There you go.
Oh, just push it and let it go. Okay, I didn't know if I had to hold it in. So the way we came up with the $12.5 million, $4 million of that was money that was advanced from our general fund, so that money is money that we've already spent. We've engaged with Boswick Design Partnership for our design for all of our locations, and then we started working with Independence for Main Library in the first 3 branches. $5.5 million of that will cover the 3 branch roofs that I just mentioned, so that work will be completed starting in April and will finish by the end of summer. So those are the 2 largest chunks. And we just also signed a $400,000 design contract for the main library's roof.
Thank you. Any questions for members of the committee? Members of council? May I have a motion? Ms. Hyam moved on 2026-040. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next up is Resolution 2026-041, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute any documents necessary to accept 2026 Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, Energized Community Grants in the amount not to exceed $8,035 with no local match requirement for the executive and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Chair, I'll take that one. Phil Montgomery from the Executive's Department of Finance and Budget. This is an annual grant award that we get as being a member of NOPEC. This is the largest amount since I've been the director. It's not a lot, but it's free money and we'll take it. So normally we wouldn't bring this to council with no cash match, but NOPEC actually requires a resolution from council to be able to accept this money. And then what we'll do is, once this resolution is accepted, then I will pick an energy efficiency project that's going on in the county and just apply these funds against that. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from members of the committee? Great. Ms. Walters moves on 2026-041. All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Last up is 2026-042, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a contract renewal with Tyler Technologies as a best practical source for enterprise asset management for a one-year term from 3/1/26 to 2/28/27 in an amount not to exceed $338,596 for the Office of Information Technology and declaring an emergency. Mr. Byrne.
Stephen Byrne, Office of Information Technology. So this is software used by both DSSS and the engineers. This helps them track all their large asset inventories. Been in place since 2023, and it's actually no cost increase for this year.
Great. Thank you, Stephen. Any questions for Mr. Byrne from members of the committee? Council? We have a motion from Ms. Walters on 2026-042. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thanks.
And I will close Finance Committee at 5:02.